You have worked hard, you have grown, you have achieved things most people only dream about, and yet there are people in your life who cannot even look you in the eye and say, "I am proud of you." And the most painful part is not that they are strangers, they are the ones you loved the most, the ones you celebrated first, the ones you thought would always be in your corner. Today, I am going to show you exactly why this happens, and once you understand the psychology behind it, you will never waste another day feeling confused or hurt by their silence. If this is something you have experienced, hit that subscribe button right now because what I am about to teach you will change the way you see people forever. There is a moment that almost every person who has ever worked hard will recognize. You get the promotion and you finish the degree. You build something from nothing. You cross a finish line that took years of sacrifice, sleepless nights, and quiet suffering to reach. And in that moment, the first thing you do, almost instinctively, is reach for your phone to call someone. Not just anyone. You call the person who you believed would be the most excited. The person who you assumed had been rooting for you the whole time. And then something happens that no one ever prepares you for. The response is cold. It is short. Maybe they say, "That is nice," and immediately change the subject. Maybe they go quiet. Maybe they even find a way to minimize what you just accomplished. "Well, it took you long enough," or, "it is not that big of a deal." And you stand there, holding your victory, suddenly feeling like it weighs nothing. You start questioning yourself. Was it really that impressive? Did I make too big of a deal out of it? Why do I feel worse now than I did before I called? Here is what I need you to understand right now, and I want you to listen to me very carefully, because this is one of the most important psychological truths you will ever learn about human behavior. What just happened to you has a name. Psychologists call it envy-driven emotional suppression, and it has nothing, absolutely nothing, to do with you or your achievement. It has everything to do with the internal world of the person standing in front of you. When someone cannot celebrate your success, it is because your success has triggered something deeply uncomfortable inside of them. Not anger at you, not dislike of you. Something far more painful for them, the awareness of their own unlived life. The moment you win, they are forced to confront every dream they abandoned, every risk they were too afraid to take, every version of themselves they gave up on. And that feeling is so unbearable that their mind does the only thing it knows how to do. It shrinks your victory to protect their ego. This is not a character flaw you can fix with a conversation. This is not something that will change if you explain yourself better or achieve even more. I have watched people double their success, triple their achievements, and still receive the same cold silence from the same people, because the problem was never the size of the achievement. And the problem is that some people have built their entire identity around a version of you that is smaller than who you are becoming. Think about that for a moment. Some people need you to stay exactly where you were when they first met you, because the moment you grow, the moment you evolve, the moment you become more, their own stagnation becomes impossible to ignore. You are not just achieving something, you are holding up a mirror to everything they have not done. And human beings, when faced with a mirror they do not like, do not change. They break the mirror. You need to understand that this dynamic is not limited to strangers or acquaintances. Research in social psychology has consistently shown that the people most likely to feel threatened by your success are the ones closest to you, family members, childhood friends, long-term partners. The very people who are supposed to be your biggest supporters are statistically the most likely to feel envious of your progress. And the reason for this is both simple and devastating. Proximity breeds comparison. When a stranger succeeds, it is easy to feel inspired. They live in a different world, a different reality. But when someone who grew up in the same house as you, who started at the same point as you, who had access to the same opportunities as you suddenly pulls ahead, the comparison becomes impossible to avoid. And for someone who has not done the internal work of building their own self-worth independently of others, that comparison becomes a source of unbearable pain. Now here is what I want you to do with this information, because understanding something is only half the lesson. And the other half is knowing what to do next. Stop performing your achievements for people who are not in the audience for your life. I want you to think about that. You have been working this hard, sacrificing this much, pushing through this much pain, and then at the finish line, you hand your victory to someone who was never capable of holding it with care. That ends today. The people who are genuinely happy for you will show you. Not because you called them first, not because you posted it publicly, not because you made them feel obligated. They will show you because your growth genuinely lifts something inside of them. Those are your people, and they are often quieter than the noise of the ones who cannot celebrate you. Learn to find them, learn to invest in them, learn to let their response be the one that matters. And to the ones who cannot be happy for you, I want you to release the expectation, not because they deserve your grace, not because what they did was acceptable, but because carrying the weight of their envy inside your chest will slow you down far more than their silence ever could. You cannot force someone to celebrate what they secretly wish was theirs. You can only decide that their inability to do so will no longer have a seat at the table of your self-worth. Here is the final truth I want to leave with you today, and I want you to carry this with you long after this video ends. The people who cannot be happy for you are not your enemies. They are simply people who are still at war with themselves, and a person at war with themselves has nothing left to give to anyone else. Your job is not to fix that war. Your job is not to make yourself smaller so that their battlefield feels less threatening. Your job is to keep growing, quietly, powerfully, and without apology. Because the right people, the ones who are meant to walk alongside the version of you that you are becoming, they will find you. And when they do, you will understand why it never worked with the ones who could not celebrate you. You are not meant to stay small enough for their comfort. You were meant for something they could not yet see. If this lesson hit you somewhere deep, if you have ever stood in that moment holding your victory and felt it shrink in someone else's hands, then you already know that this channel is for you. Every single week I bring you the psychology behind the things that hurt the most, the things no one explains. Now, the things that keep you up at night wondering why people behave the way they do. Subscribe right now and turn on your notifications, because the next lesson I have for you is one that will completely change the way you choose who deserves access to your energy. Do not miss it.